What is the timeline for the application for Italian citizenship? Today we want to talk about the timeline, the processing time, about the process of Italian citizenship by descent and by marriage. This is very important also because it's a really common question that we're seeing. How long will it take, so realistically? How long will it take to get my Italian passport? Well, today we will cover all these doubts and all these questions that we always receive almost every day from all the prospects. This is Marco 𝙤𝙪𝙩𝙏 from the 𝙤𝙪 Love Office from Italy, and do not lose any more time. Let's start. We will talk first of all about the process of Italian citizenship by descent. So what is the timeline? What is processing time for Italian citizenship by descent? Well, this is a $1 million question because beside the process of Italian citizenship by descent, there are many ways to apply. You can apply through your local Italian consulate, you can apply through, if you live in Italy, to an Italian commune, an Italian town hall, you can apply to the court if you have a 1940 case or if you have a case that you cannot process to the consulate because of the lack of appointment. So when you are unable to get your appointment to the Italian consulate. And so there are different authorities that can check your application, your petition, and so the processing time is different. For example, let's assume that you want to set through the administrative route, so through the consulate, through the commune. Legally speaking, the law says that you have to file an application, and when the application is filed, the Italian authorities has maximum 2 years to decide your case. Approval or not approval, but a decision in general must come. It's very difficult to guarantee this processing time, especially in some situations where there are really, especially now in this period where there is a really huge demand of the Italian citizenship by descent, so there are really huge number of applications. So it's really difficult to respect those times. So it's different, the timeline is different, as I said, depending on where you file. You have also to consider, pay attention, because generally you think about the process of when you file the petition, but as a processing time, as part of the timeline, you need to consider all the time you need to prepare the documentation, because the law set the maximum 2 years timeline for the moment you file. But what happened before? It takes time to prepare the document. Each country is different. You need to deal with the fact that each office is different. For example, right now, if you want to receive some certificate of naturalization or naturalization in the US, can take almost 1 year to wait for a document. So you need to keep in mind that if you have some rush or you want to start the process, you need to start as soon as possible because the processing time will be particularly long. For sure, let's say that in an average, so it's not, information you need to get as official information. On average, a process for citizenship by descent, let's say through the court, because right now getting through the consulate is almost impossible. So right now through the court, it can take on around 2-3 years to be finalized. And in case you have some documents with you, if you are starting from zero and we have just to wait 1 year for a certificate of naturalization or no naturalization, well, may take also 4 years. So you need to consider that the process is not a fast process. You cannot pretend to pay somebody and to have your process finalized in a couple of months or something like that. It's impossible. It's really impossible. A little different story if you want to apply for Italian citizenship by marriage. Here, the last regulation set a maximum 2 years wait time for the process. Here, the timeline is not always, but in many cases respected. Also here, it really depends on what Italian consulate will check your case, will decide your case, because here you can only go through the Italian consulate if you live abroad. Of course, we are talking about the Italian consulate. So the Italian consulate can take, depending also on what Italian consulate is deciding your case, can take a maximum 2 years of processing time. For example, we had clients from non-European, Americans, from Asia, from many countries, but they were living in Europe. So the Italian consulate in Europe generally, for example, in Spain, Germany, France, generally are less overwhelmed with cases. There are less cases to process, and so of course they will take, for sure, we can say maximum 2 years, but they will take less than 2 years to decide your case, maybe 1 year if you're lucky. So it really depends on where. If you're going to file in countries with a high rate of petitions, well, it can take 2 years for sure, and sometimes also over the 2 years. So it's really, really important to understand what is the time limit. What is happened? Because this is also a question that maybe you're asking yourself. What happens if the consulate does not respect the 2 years maximum legal time? Well, in this case, you have 2 options, and only 2 options. Or you continue to wait and hoping to receive a news very soon, or you can hire an attorney, an Italian immigration attorney, an Italian citizenship attorney, to solicit the consulate to finalize the process as they are over the legal term, and if nothing happened, what you can do is to file a lawsuit in Italy because your right to have your citizenship is violated. So, but this is of course another question, and maybe we can do another video about it. So it's very, very important to know your rights, to know the processing time, and to realistically understand that the process will take years, not months. It's always impossible. It's important to note, because sometimes we receive question, okay, but what if I pay more for speeding up the process? No, it doesn't exist something like that. You cannot pay more for having a fast-track way, because a fast-track way doesn't exist. So this is very important also to avoid to be scammed by potentially people selling you a service and promising to have your citizenship in 6 months, which is absolutely, we can say, almost impossible. It's also important to subscribe to the channel. This is also very important, not just for you, because you will receive also all the updates, everything that we post, but for us too, because it's a way to support us. We are doing this for you for free, sharing with you information, taking the time to make the videos. It's important. So as a form of support, if you like the videos, of course, besides, getting a like to the video, but subscribe to the channel. If you have some questions, something you want to ask, you can always leave a comment below. We are always happy, the team is always happy to respond to you, but please know that we cannot provide consultation here on YouTube and on social media. It's impossible to make a consultation. If you want a consultation, you need to book an appointment, you need to book a consultation online through the website. You can go on the website, the contact section, or you can write to us or book there a consultation. So it's for sure the best way to proceed, because we can analyze your case, respond to your question or doubt, and taking care of your case. As always, thank you so much for your attention, and see you on the next videos.